Well, I started working with compost 35 years ago. I started over in Ringwood, so my working experience is in the Tri-County area, but it's also in the Tri-State area where I ended up getting involved with horticulture and therapy, horticultural therapy. This is an example of what our compost looks like after we layer it in here.
Nice.
And let all the elements in the way we want, and that's the way it is. It forms the most incredible, powerful form of growing medium that I've ever experienced in my 35 years of intensive gardening, and I've lectured on this for 35 years, so I mean I've learned a few things here and there, but what we've done in these compost piles is a major transition. What makes it unique are three things. First, well, there's four things. Three things. The materials to the far side over by that building there are twice ground leaves. The materials over here is leaf mold. Those two things become interestingly connected over periods of time. Ultimately, they end up in here as a layer. So we layer green material in it, much of which can and should be, and especially is, medicine when we open up the piles. One of the things we do all the time is every 10 to 14 days we go like this and stretch the pile out. We water, we let the air, we let the light get in there, we let the water get in there, so it has an elemental reconnection with time, and we leave it there for every 14 days, no more than 14 days, we're in here servicing each of these piles. And so things like that over there that you see, we're bringing all medicinal plants. To the one by the fence is stinging nettle. On the other side of the fence is comfrey. These are our 1-2 punch. Our third punch is yarrow. Our fourth, you only see one plant there right now, but we'll have that thing loaded next week. And we'll do this with a succession of plants that will include valerian and dandelion and dock. So those are the plants that we bring into the mix, and they all bring in special things. When you put it into a production situation on a farm and you include buckwheat and you include clover, then you have a full system in place so that you include your rotations and you can include your compost, of which will support this compost here, will support everything out there and everything that's going in out in this farm. This will be a farm. The only thing we lack right now is we lack a fence. But with a fence, we have the farm.
So I know compost means a lot to you, and it's more than, you know, reprocessed stuff. Tell me about like the soul of compost.
Well, the soul of compost is the discipline of how you set your pile up, how you dig it. You give it plenty of room at the bottom of the pile so that you're going to balance the pile, and you line it up with trees and then twigs and branches, and we'll have we're going to have two freehand artists out here with a chainsaw. So everything that they have, all those wood chips, will come back in the next compost pile that we'll do over the weekend, and then we'll build that as we have our workshop. So we put in layers of green, layers of brown, and we cover it with soil. And the soil is the parent material, and we want those microorganisms which are readily available in the parent soil. So all those things go into the compost each and every time we do it.
Okay.
We always end with soil.
And I know you're a poet, And I'm just wondering if you could lay a little poetry on us about what you're doing here at the Medicine Wheel, Lusscroft Farms.
I'll tell you what I think. I think it's all about, I would say, life as though life mattered. Matter, that between us, through us, the mirror reflects. Truer than where you come. Community, say a garden. Garden, sand and clay, pebbles and rocks, the soul of all blossoms.
Awesome. Thank you, Brian. Come check out the Medicine Wheel.
Thank you, Kath.
Okay.